Our finale speaker is here. And she's somebody who actually, we've heard so much conversation about women in health all day. The problem is, how do you make this conversation accessible to people your age? Because when we try and tell you something, you'll be like, you guys are so boring. Here's somebody who I actually describe her as the doctor who dares. She talks about all the things that we otherwise say shh about. And she lifts the veil of things that are buried 6 feet deep otherwise. Please put your hand together for our final speaker of the day, Dr. Cuterus. Let's hear it for Dr. Tanaya, otherwise known as Dr. Cuterus. Nice to be here. Thank you. I know you've come all the way from Allahabad, which is your home city. Let's give it up for Dr. Cuterus. The name is an obvious play on uterus and cuteness, or I made that up. Why did you feel the need to take on this persona? I mean, you're a qualified doctor, a medical doctor, but you wanted a language, maybe a youthful language to communicate with people in, or a larger audience?
Hi, thank you for having me. I think
just hold the mic up a bit. Huh?
The branding of the uterus has not been very good. We always think uterus ko saaf karna hai, detox karna hai. And I didn't like that. I think if you think about it, the uterus is the very first home we all ever have. We all have very fond memories of our first home, except when it comes to the uterus. Wahan aake to bas matlab it's all the bad stuff. So I think I wanted to rebrand the uterus for other people as how I see it in my head, which is a very cute, warm and welcoming, healthy space. And women's health really does not get any attention at all. So I think that was the main intention behind really going and, talking about everything that...
And you have like close to 2 million followers on Instagram now. So please do follow her. Please do follow her account. I'm following it, and it's amazing. And you actually talk about all the things that nobody talks to young women about. The uterus, sex, sexual health, reproductive rights. I mean, everything. Cancer, should you be getting a vaccine, cervical cancer, all the things that nobody talks about. When you started doing this, did you get pushback?
I want to do a quick plug. My book is actually also called exactly this.
Oh,
Everything
really?
nobody tells you about
your
body.
Oh, wow. Well then.
I love it.
Please pick up a copy of your book. Is it out?
Yes. Okay. I will see if I can share a copy.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a lot of pushback, yes. But I think when it comes to a space that is like women's health, where even women hesitate, I mean, how many of you all have conversations with your guy friends about your periods? Do you all? Yes. I love it.
That's changing then. Things are changing.
This was not how it was when I was in college.
You all are not embarrassed? No. Good girls, in the best possible way. Yes.
I love that. And the generation I come from, we did not do that. And I think it was a little bit of a shock, especially for other women, to see a woman go and say कि भाई periods में clots निकलते हैं, जो normally हम इतना छुपा के बात करते हैं. Somebody going on social media and talking about it, it was a bit of a shock. And I did get pushback, but well-behaved women really make history, and that is something I really do follow to the T.
Who is this? Feel free to clap. Who is this pushback from? Trolls, societal peers, parents?
I think it's also people who like to believe that they're the upholders of the social moral fabric of this country and this world.
So puritanical people, basically.
Yeah.
Overzealous.
Yeah. A lot of people like to treat women like they have to be protected. And it is those same people who believe that the kind of work that I do is
Do you guys go through your hodgy moments? Do you have things you can't talk about? Anything? You talk about everything? Huh? Cramps? Sacks. That's something you do talk about. And, you have to talk about sex if you want to talk about other parts of this conversation. I don't know, I mean, menstruation, menopause, cervical cancer, anemia, malnourishment. I mean, everything eventually is interconnected. And I think that's what we forget. And when we shut down part of this conversation, we're actually shutting down part of a woman's body or part of her right to look after herself. So talk about how you are lifting the veil of the subject of sex.
I'm going to start with a very interesting statistic here before I give my answer
Yeah.
on this. Do you all know what erectile dysfunction is? Yeah? Clearly a problem. It's not something fun. Nobody enjoys going through it. Do you all know what endometriosis is? Okay. I suppose you all would also know that it's a very painful condition. It has a lot of effects on your life. It's not just painful periods, it's infertility, it is debilitating pain, it is difficulty in having sex, it is a lot of other nonsense. Here's something that should make you very angry. Endometriosis research gets 19%, 19% of the funding that erectile dysfunction research gets.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
And it is so heartbreaking because this is, I do not want to take away from the fact that going through erectile dysfunction is painful, it's a difficult thing, but endometriosis has far-reaching implications. And this gets such little funding. It is because women's health does not get the credit it deserves. It does not have the right amount of conversation around it. Until the 1990s, we didn't have women participating in medical research because it was thought that their hormones will mess up the results of the drugs.
Wow.
We really need to go out there and talk about our health and talk about our bodies and own that agency, because if we are not taking care of ourselves, nobody is, honestly, unfortunately. And we really got to do this. So go and tell everybody about your blood clots.
But tell me, is anything changing? Like we've seen girls here saying we can't talk about our period. Is it changing? Is it easier to talk about sex today? Or are some conversations still taboo because you'll have to talk about sex, so there's an association with sex, even obliquely? Like, are there health issues you can't raise?
So the HPV vaccine is a wonderful thing. It is a vaccine that can protect you from cancer. It is the only vaccine in the world that can protect you from cancer, and this is the cancer of the cervix.
And it's the only cancer that can be prevented.
With a vaccine.
With a vaccine, yeah.
So more than 90% cases of all cervical cancer are linked with the HPV vaccine. But if you go and search about the HPV vaccine, you will find a lot of haw about it. Even when I learned about it in medical school, it said it happens to, the textbook said cervical cancer is something that happens to promiscuous women.
Wow.
Because there is an
The textbook
association.
said this.
My literal medical textbook says this.
Shocking.
It continues to say that in 2024.
Shocking.
Because there is an automatic association that HPV is a sexually transmitted virus. That means that if you give this vaccine to somebody, they're going to go start banging everything that moves, which means if you want to protect the morality of women, you must not give them this vaccine. There is so much misinformation around this vaccine. So the shame around our bodies and around sex has far-reaching implications. It's not just कि हम बात नहीं कर सकते. It is also affecting our medical care. Things are changing.
But it's so important what you said about HPV, because sometimes when we want to take these kind of conversations into schools and educational institutions, everybody thinks that, oh, there's some sex association here, so they don't want to have the conversation about a preventable cancer. It's crazy.
It is a shame.
Yeah.
And it is so unfortunate that it's because of some arbitrary moral boundary that has been put on us that ऐसे होना चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए, because of which women do not get life-saving care, preventive care. So things are changing, definitely they're changing, but how fast is a question.
Now tell me, Dr. Cuterus, I can't even call you Tanaya because I'm so used to thinking of you as Dr. Cuterus. What do you want the girls and the boys here to know? Things that you think everybody should know, but there's shocking ignorance about.
I think I'm going to hammer this point home after this talk very well. Please get your vaccine. If you're under 26 years of age, you can get the cheaper vaccine, which is 2,000 per dose. So please, 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 please get it. It is one of the best things you can do for your health. Second thing, sutta chhod do, please. You do not understand how poorly it's going to impact your health. The boys can go to hell in this conversation because it has more of a dramatic impact on your health than it does to men. It is very unfortunate. Nature Maiya ne hamare saath bahut game khela hai, but hai to hai. And the third thing, this is for everybody, no matter what kind of sexual act you're involved in, anal, oral, vaginal, please make sure you're using condoms. Condoms are the only contraceptive in the world that protect you from sexually transmitted infections, and most STIs do not have any symptoms. So just use the condoms, just do it.
I want to end by asking you, you said you get a lot of pushback. What does that pushback sound like? Do they question your morality? Do they judge you? Have you learned to not care? Does it hurt sometimes?
I cry a lot and I think it's very cathartic.
Oh, we all cry a lot. Why do you cry?
Sometimes it's really absurd that, people think that I am easy access or, my body is meant for objectification or, people can say whatever they can to me just because I really passionately believe in the work I do. I don't know how that link happens, but the pushback that I get often tends to be that you are corrupting the youth of India. Which if I am, तो ठीक है यार, कर रहे हैं corrupt, हो जाओ corrupt, बस safe रहो. Or it tends to be that, ये Indian culture का part नहीं है, to which I just want to shove a, a Kama Sutra textbook in their face and be like, please, please uncle.
Well, we want to say thank you to all the important work you've been doing, and may we please have on stage from us a recognition of all that you do as being a woman of the year. Oh my. Can we have a huge round of applause for Dr. Cuterus? Come on, I know it's late, but a bigger round of applause.